welcome back to my YouTube channel. I'm actually very excited to be recording this video. You won't believe what time it is. It's like 22 past 11 p.m. Yeah, and have work tomorrow. Imagine all that. I've been hesitant to record this video. It has taken me a very long time to actually record the second video. But first of all, I would like to thank you all for your tremendous support that you showed me on the first video that I posted. There was so much feedback on it, and I'm actually really glad that I managed to touch some people's lives, because there was the whole essence of the video that I help other people out there who probably went through the same ordeal that I went through. And I'm really glad, and thank you for your responses, thank you for your condolences messages, and thank you for everything. I appreciate all of that. So I've had several requests to do the second video, and I'll probably build up from where I left from on the first video. You can see me, this is me in 2024. I recorded that video in 2020, early 2023, I think. Yeah. I was retelling what happened partly, and also sharing my thoughts on how to grieve, well, basing on the stage that I was at. I had notes. Even today I do not have notes. I'm going to be freestyling, but I hope that what I'm going to share also again today will help someone out there and progress everything. I'm just going to try and summarize, and yeah, so here it goes. Last I left off, I was giving off points on how to go through losing your mother as an only child. Also, please take this disclaimer, do not mind the lighting. This is the last time you're going to be getting shady lighting like this. It's in the evening, and this is me after work, so I may not look my best. And what else, the sound, believe me, you, I know there's no statement like that, but if you're an Adventist person, you will know the believe me you from the pastors that I got some video recording equipment, because I actually want to venture into this YouTube thingy, and because I'm probably lazy to write stuff, I think I do better with talking, so I would want to share. And also, if you notice, I've actually given this channel a name. It's called Navigating Life with Simply Sam, so I'll see how it goes. Anyways, back to business. How to cope with grief. It's, you know what, one thing about grief, guys, one thing about grief is it's going to pull you down. It is going to pull you down. It is going to be there with you. It's, you know, a tick, right? You know, the ticks that dogs have or livestock, and yeah, I think grief will stick on you like a tick. Unfortunately, this is the type of tick that you can't remove as and when you want to. Grief is love, sadly and truly. Grief is love. Grief is love that is not being expressed, that is failing to be expressed, because there's no outlet, you know, there's no outlet. So how to cope with grief? I did something. I got a dog. I got a puppy, and I named the puppy Zulu. I wanted some way to, or something, anything to expend my love to, or I was overwhelmed with so much love, but it had nowhere to go. Yeah, this is a story for another day. Also, because I'm sure you'll be like asking, where was your partner? You know, like you're that age. Yeah, we'll talk about it some other time. So, anyways, I got a dog, and that dog was a blessing, still is a blessing. I took care of the dog. I love dogs so much, but this one was a very special dog. I got a dog. Um, I treated it like a baby. Nobody didn't stay inside the house. It stayed outside. I bought a kennel for it and everything. I'll take it to the vet, regular checkups. That helped me a lot because I had this much love that I wanted to give out, but it had no outlet. So, in coping with grief, I think find something or someone where you can pour out that love that you have in you. It's not going to be the same, yes, because I wanted my mother to love, but love in essence and love in its actual form is love no matter how it is, or who it is given to, or whom it is given to. So yeah, that helped. That helped a lot. I had a sense of responsibility. I was taking care of something, so um, it helped with coping with grief. The second thing that I also have been using is, I will never not emphasize this so much. You need to allow yourself to go through the emotion. Listen, there are days I would just break down. And I always say to myself that it's so weird how everyone is so convinced that I'm this strong lady and independent, and also I get to believe that, I myself get to believe that. And when this happens, I'm like, am I strong? Because it then shatters me, it kills me. When grief comes, it's like the emotion, I mean, because it will not go away. The emotion, the days where I would scream and cry so much, even after a year plus, I still do actually. This is 2024, and I can tell you that the last week was a hectic week for me because I missed her so much and I cried my life out. I won't even lie. I cry. Sometimes I cry, and I swear to you, if a person were to find me crying, they would believe that she probably, I just heard the news. That's how bad it gets. But then that's grief. That's how you cope. Allow yourself to go through the emotion. There is nothing wrong with you crying. There is nothing wrong with you going through the emotion, because you're not gonna put it anyway. It's just gonna be there. You can't bottle it up because you're going to. I spoke like a Rondevele. You can't bottle it up because it's not going to go anywhere. You're going to get bitter. You're going to. It's very harmful. I understand why people go for therapy, and I would recommend therapy to people who probably do feel like they do not have that that much, what can I say, control over their emotions and their feelings. So if you don't have, and if you don't believe that you have that much control over your emotions, I would recommend that you go for therapy. So find an outlet for love, where somewhere, love your friends more, I don't know, do something to allow your emotions to come, feel them as they come. And when they visit, it comes in waves. It comes in waves. You get to understand what they mean when they say grief comes in waves, because sometimes it's still, if you've been to the beach, or if you've seen the ocean and you've seen, sometimes it's still and calm. And then sometimes the waves just come, and when they come, they just don't, you know, I'm sure you get what I'm saying. So allow yourself to go through that. Um, and then, what else? Try to live by what your loved one, in my context, your mother, um, would have taught you, if it was right, of course, assuming it was good. Um, my mother was a very smart person, like smart, OCD type. I swear to you, to her, I was the most dirtiest girl. She wouldn't believe that I could sweep and leave one speck of dust. Like, she was. So, now being a grown woman, staying alone, I always reflect on what she used to tell me. And she would say, whenever you're cooking in the kitchen, it must not be visible that there's someone who's cooking. And I'll be like, what do you mean? Because I'm cooking. She would want you to chop your onions, immediately wash the board, wash the knife, clean out the sink, dry the sink. Like, she was excessive like that. And she will tell you that when you clean the toilet, my mom will tell me that when you clean the toilet, clean it to the extent that I can give you food and you can go and eat in the toilet. You can go and eat it in there and not feel disgusted. So all of these things have, like, I always laugh about it now because I'm grown, because I'm so fussy about how my kitchen looks. I'll be very fussy about how the bathroom looks because there's that. So yeah, trying to live out what they taught you actually makes you feel better. It made me feel better. It will definitely make you feel better because you feel like there's a part of them that is still with you through their teachings and whatever wisdom they shared with you. Yeah, there's that also. I wish I had written this down so that I could be very, chronological and sequential. But like I said, I'm picking off head, but I really hope that it helps. How else did I cope, or am I coping with grief? My mother didn't. She liked pictures, but not that much. So I try to collect all pictures of her that I have, and physical and digital copies. Yeah, so I actually got a photo album, and this is going to be my photo album for my family also to come, of course. And I have all the pictures that she used to take and pictures of me when I was young, and I go through it sometimes and I just look at her, and yeah, it's very beautiful. I always emphasize on taking pictures because there are moments like this that you, even yourself, will not be here on earth, but at least leave something for the people who are going to remain, because they're going to miss you, and pictures play a huge role. I wish I had taken so many videos with my mother. Let me tell you this one thing. In 2021, that was in December, my friend was getting married and she had asked me to be a bridesmaid. You know how things happen in life. And I remember feeling something inside me that you're not always at home, Sam. So Christmas is family time, especially for me, because it was just me and mom. And I was like, let me just go home, like I need to go home. I felt the strong urge that I had to go home. And I didn't know that that was going to be the last festive season I'll spend with my mother. And I'm so glad, actually. I'm so glad I actually managed to go. I felt bad that I couldn't be there for my friend. But that urge was something I couldn't resist. It's when you have this constant nudge to do something or not to do it, it was very pressing like that, and I knew I had to honor it. So I'd actually booked I booked for Christmas dinner for mom and I told her, hey, we're going for Christmas dinner and everything. And my mom, being her, was like, please don't waste money, girl. I need you to save the money up. You stay alone, just come home, we're gonna be okay. And I was like, oh, okay. I was very disappointed that she turned down my request. And but I was home. I was home, obviously, then spent some time with my friends. I've my friends in Layo. That didn't happen, and I didn't know that I would have had memories like just crazy. So yes, gather pictures of your loved one. Go through them, cry as you're viewing them, reminisce the old times that they were there, and that's part of your healing process. It's going to heal. And for some reason, I think it has. I've never read anything or any book that has pertaining to grief, but in my little time here on earth, I've come to understand a bit of how the brain works. So I think when you do such activities, you prompt the brain to register some things, because I think death is very hard to register. That's why we keep getting these emotions, because your whole being is longing to have this person, because you were not expecting to lose them at such a point in time. But the moment you slowly teach yourself that this person is no longer there, you only see them in pictures, I think it gets better with time. So I'm also trying to recall what I said. Number one, find an outlet. Number two, go with the emotion. Is it like go through the emotion as it comes? Number three, do look back, find pictures or something. Oh no, number three is like live through what um, they taught you, like, or try to remember their teachings. Number four is pictures matter. Pictures matter. Whatever footage you had, collect that, go through that, watch the videos. And if your parents are still alive, please, or anyone that you love, please don't waste time. Life is so short, and it's very, very shocking how death is so permanent. A person can just be taken away from you, and you won't have an extra second to even say goodbye. So if you have your loved ones, take footage, take pictures, take content. Don't be them, I don't like camera, oh, I don't like pictures. Don't be that person. Don't be that boring. Life is not that long, because I wish I'd taken so many videos. The only video that I have of my mother, I actually hate that video, because I was trying to get us to take a dancing video, right? And then she wasn't cooperating. Literally, she used to like making funnies. And she was being funny. And I was so annoyed, like, what are you doing? I'm trying to take a video. And I remember I was so annoyed. I was kind of frowning when I was ending the video. And I watch it and I'm like, oh man, I wish I had plenty of this to watch. So yeah. And then do something that you think they'll be proud of you that you did. Well, I laid my mom's tombstone in September. That was a year and 2 months after she died. It was a very special moment. It was very important to me that I do that. It felt like I was paying respect to her, and a final resting place, and etc. You know how it is. I don't want to get too deep lest I end up saying heresy, but it has that soothing effect. And also, every time I would go to Layo, I would pass through the gravesite and just be there. Not that it has any effect, because I believe, I am an Adventist, and I believe that they did know nothing. So I believe that she doesn't know anything. She can't see, she can't hear, she can't love, she can't hate. But for me, for my healing, just being there, knowing that this is a resting place. It's so weird, guys. I even when I'm saying this, it feels like it's unreal. Like I didn't think I would be talking about my mother in past tense like this. So yeah, you can go to their resting place also just to be there and say out a prayer to God. Mm, if that helps, I would do that. Go there and just have feel like they're there, and it's the closest thing to feeling their presence at this point in time after you've lost them. Um, yeah, I mean, I think this is how I've been coping. And obviously, I won't forget the two most important key points. It's very vital to anyone who is grieving. Um, you need to have a support system that's around you. Vent to someone. You definitely won't go through this alone. My friends are always available for me. Trust me. I remember when it was like my mom's anniversary, death, or was it deathversary or what? But I don't know. I remember on a Sunday was oh no on a Saturday I actually didn't go to church because it wasn't a Friday, but the Saturday after that Friday, I actually didn't go to church because I was down and out. And my friends came. They came over on that Sabbath, that afternoon. Like you never know how much their presence mean until like they're there. So it was great knowing that I'm not in it alone. Okay, like remember I said last time that you're in it alone. Yes, you're in it alone, but in the bigger picture of things, I'm sure you have someone. Don't shun them out. People that are extending themselves to be there for you, they can never understand this, but those efforts that they hand out to you and um the efforts that they do to make you feel better or to show you that you're not alone count really, and a strong support system is very important. So that has really helped me a lot. I know I isolate myself a lot at times and I just shut down, but they know how to handle me. It could be just a text message or just checking on you or just visiting me, and yeah. And the foremost important thing is having a strong belief in a higher power. I'm going to always say this because it's unbelievable. Death is so unbelievable. Because it's unfair if you're actually to think about it, especially if it's an instant death. It's unfair. It's you you want to put the blame. I wanted to put the blame on somebody. God, obviously, because I mean he knows everything. So this was my very specific prayer request. We'll probably talk about it in the coming videos, and so I hope we get to do this live thing together until I pop in here with my baby and two babies and all of those things. But I hope we get to navigate life together and we go through this thing together. I just want to say that having a higher power is very important. Um, it was a specific prayer request from my end. I had told God I want my mom to see me graduate, I want my mom to see me get married, I want my mom to see my kids. And guess what? There's some prayer requests that are just so specific about. So specific about. And I'm not even saying beating about the bush, like very specific about. And then that doesn't happen. And you're just like, God, this was not on the script. I did not agree to this. What is happening? Because at a certain point in time, I felt like I was living a movie. Like, okay, when is this gonna end? Am I gonna wake up from this bed trip? But it isn't. It's my new life now. So it's all the emotions also to God, because you get to have someone to direct those emotions to. I was angry at God. I still get angry sometimes. I won't even lie about that. Why didn't didn't he tell me? Why didn't why didn't he show me? Why wasn't he specific in his dealings? Why didn't he? So many questions. And then, it's nice when you're happy and everything is going well and you're out there telling people. I used to preach a lot, so I used to preach a lot back in my home church, Life Center Church. It's easier when everything is cool and you're up there on the pulpit and you're telling people God is too wise to err, and not until you feel like he's erred on your part. I felt like that, like there must be a mistake, God. There must be a mistake. Not now? Are you sure? But it happened. So you need a higher power, because in his greatness, he will find ways to comfort you. And this is why I'm saying also a support system is important, because God will not come down in person or in being, because it's not a person. He won't come down in his being and give you a big hug. Sometimes he loves you through people, and you can feel it, and you can see that this is God. This purely, truly, fully God. So that belief in a higher power, in your God, will aid you to get through grief. I'm going to tell you the truth. It's going to be hard to pray. Like praying, you'll struggle, because it's like, for me, for my kids, I'm like, I prayed for this for years. It didn't happen. What's the assurance that something that I'm praying for right now that you will answer positively, but you learn. This is where also a strong footing in his word, or a strong footing in his word really comes through, because in as much as I distanced myself, in as much as I felt empty, in as much as sometimes I was angry at God, I never got to a point, even at the slightest thought of saying I'm done with God. No. I'm angry at him. I was angry at him. I don't know if I still am. But God is too wise to err. Let that answer your many questions. That eventually he holds the universe. All power is in his hands. Nothing that exists outside him. Therefore, which means that any decision that happens concerning any of his creatures or his creation, he's the approving person or being, or the disapproving being. If he did not want it to happen, it would not have happened. But he let it happen. And him letting it happen at that particular time, in that way, must always go back to the fact that he is too wise to err. He makes no mistakes. Obviously, there's a whole lot of other things that determine everything, but at the end of the day, at the end of it all, he is the last person to stamp a yes or a no, So God is too wise to err, and he is too good to withhold anything good from you. It's unfortunate. My sister says, I remember there's a statement that Nyari said. She said, on this other side of heaven, anything is possible. And it's stuck with me. It's like it's in my head like that. Anything is possible. Perfection and a life of no death, a life of no tears and everything will only come when we're done with this life of sin, Revelation chapter 22, not 22 actually, 21 verse 4, it says, and God shall wipe away every tear from the eye, and there shall be no more death, no tears, no sorrows, no everything, for the former things that have passed away. So death is going to happen. Even if you're watching this and you haven't lost a loved one, just know it's going to happen. And I hope when it happens, you remain grounded in your faith. It's going to be shaken, yes, but I hope you remain grounded in your faith. So this is how I've been coping. I don't want to say it gets better with time, because it doesn't get better with time. But the frequency at which these emotions come at you changes. It becomes less. You learn, that's if you choose to, because ultimately everything is a result of your choice, of how you want to handle it. You learn how to have a life without them. It's only last year, last 2023, around October, where one day I just woke up and was like, wait a minute, I feel better. And I felt better after so many months. I didn't have that feeling whereby I sleep and I wake up in the morning and the first thing I think of is that shit. Excuse my French. Is that, oh my gosh, I don't have my mother. She's gone. It's not the first thing I think about now when I wake up. I've moved a step up. I'm grateful for that. It's different now. You move. It could be slowly but surely. And at the end of the day, you choose to don't dwell on the grief a lot. Death happens to everyone. My sister also said this one day that we're all in a queue of death. We're all going to die. That's if Jesus doesn't come when you're still alive. We're all going to die eventually. So that happens to everyone, at any point in time, in any type of way. So in as much as you can never be prepared for death, the least you can do is try to go through your grief in a non-self-harming way. Yeah. Yeah, I think I could talk the whole day, trust me, but I hope this helps. And like I said, I will be more consistent, maybe like once a month video on YouTube, and hope you subscribe. And I hope that this video really helped you, and it's also quite comforting to know that what I'm going through is not unique to me alone. You know, there's so many people who've been in the same predicament who are yet to be, but I just hope that this helps. Thank you very much for watching this video till the end. Please do share with your friends, please do subscribe, and yeah, see you next time. Bye.